Ladies and gentlemen, Gia Marie Love. Hey. Tell us 2 words? Would you like to tell us 2 words?
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking time out to watch the film. Thank you for having me. And thank Henrietta and Maria for bringing me to Greece to share some of our experiences and some of the process that we went through to share with you more specifically about what it took to make the film. Thank you.
Χρειαζόμαστε μετάφραση.
Όχι.
Okay. So,
Saves time.
well, we saw a very strong and intense documentary because beside Kiki we saw the characters, how the struggle of them during the daily life. So would you tell us something about this? Because I saw we have a little bit homophobic incidents that we face also in Greece. I face like many times this.
So I think you're talking about the incident in the beginning. Basically, we were filming and it was so funny because I didn't know we were filming. I thought they were like checking out their setup. So basically we were walking and I'm just a person who demands to be respected, and it has nothing to do with like who I am. It's just like those are little kids, respect adults. So at first they were saying things that were inappropriate because they didn't know I was trans, but then when I started speaking, I guess they heard it in my voice. So then they started to be nasty, and I just feel that you shouldn't pick on people. And I was embarrassed because we were recording, and I got really upset, and then I had them, in the filming for the day because I just felt like, I didn't want to participate anymore. But that's definitely the reality for a lot of people, like that doesn't happen to me much. That's like, it didn't really happen to me much, but it happened I did. But it's a reality for a lot of people who may experience like homophobic attacks. I don't recommend everyone handle it the way I did. I'm a big, tough person, so I can handle myself. But I do think that stand up for yourself in the best way you can. I don't. Whatever you feel is necessary to combat homophobic attacks, do it. Don't let people walk over you. I don't think that's. Because then, let them know about themselves. Let them know that they're being nasty. Let them know that they're harming you. And let them know that they need to fix themselves, Not everyone's going to take my approach, but I don't think that people should just stand idle to stuff like that.
Thank you. My next question is...
You get that one.
So we have 2.
Anyone have any questions?
Thank you so much. You're absolutely gorgeous. It's so amazing to see you in flesh. You're incredible. Thank you so much. I just wanted to ask you, in Greece, the LGBT community has not engaged with the community of people of color at all, I would say. I think it's only because of the refugee crisis that some alliances have been created, and we're still not talking about black people. We're talking about, people of color, and I would say very lightly skinned so far, and like a minority of people coming that are black. And I would like to ask you, what would you think we should do to advocate and ally ourselves more with the community here? And also, what should we do beyond marriage equality? And I agree 100% with you that that was a white man thing. Is this not working?
But I think that that's not just an issue in Greece. That's just like an issue everywhere, and I think that it's really difficult to try to overlap movements and struggles because then you have people trying to fight for visibility because, you know, in our world, only one person or one group of people get the time to shine. So I think it's best that these groups of people build coalitions, you know, reach out to these groups of people, you know, do things together. It doesn't have to be like, related to the actual struggle, but just, you know, develop friendships and like I said, coalitions with these groups. And then I feel like there will be more connections, because I noticed that as well. One thing I always make it my business to do when I travel is to go to the Black communities of the places I go to. So like, you know, like last night and the other night I went to like the Black area here, and I didn't see any LGBT people. So that's something I wondered, and it happens everywhere I go. Like if I go to the gay clubs, I won't really see Black people there, and I'm sure there's Black gay people here, but there's not a space for them. And I think that because a lot of times I'm not versed in immigrant issues because in my country I'm not an immigrant, but I think that a lot of times the struggle's different. So the LGBTQ struggle is not something they may wear on their back because, you know, they're a refugee, and that's like a major crisis that a lot of people have to face when they come into a new space, and they have to really acclimate to a different culture. You know what I mean? A lot of people are working really hard, nonstop, 14 hours a day to try to make ends meet and to get themselves off their feet. So again, build coalitions, that's very important. And give people space. You know, a lot of times what happens is like, I know that I have access to certain spaces that other people don't, and a privilege to have a voice and speak to you people. So it's my moral obligation to give people who may not have the privilege that I have a space to speak for themselves. So I don't want to speak for anyone. If I know Black people, like if I wasn't Black and I knew there are other people suffering, you know, it is my job to, you know, allow them to be visible and give them the mic as well.
Another question?
I'm sorry, we have very little time, so this will be the last question. And then we will, Gia will come to us to be queer. And the party.
Yeah, party.
Yeah. And you can talk. And you are talkable. You can talk to her.
I'm very nice.
Yeah. But we will have one more question from the audience. Yes.
Hi, it's me
Hi,
here.
honey. How are
Thank
you?
you very much for being here.
Thank you
For showing us this film. It's also thank you Outview for bringing you here to have that experience here. So my question is, a lot of people around the world have started experiencing what the ballroom scene is, what queer people of color experience in your country through RuPaul's Drag Race, which is a phenomenon that, you know, people around the world start watching, and they go to experience what that is. So I wanted to ask you, what from your experience in the ballroom scene, and seeing, for example, I don't know, maybe people ask you in other countries about Drag Race, etc. Like, what's your opinion on that?
You know, it's to be very honest and frank, sometimes like when you come from a subculture community that has so much history and so much has contributed so much to the queer movement in our country and around the world, hence the reason why a lot of people are voguing and engaging in ballroom around the world. It takes me aback when they like sometimes like I'll be with my mom friends and they'll ask me, will I ever go on Drag Race? And it's funny to me because like I'm not even a performer, that's not what I do. But it waters down my experience, it waters down, it dilutes everything that I've been through. And I think that's the same with people making the associations between like RuPaul's Drag Race. Great show, great thing, but it's not ballroom. And like I said earlier, you know, these people have a platform to engage the world on another level, and I think they do a disservice to take accreditation for things that they don't create and that they don't even participate in. Now, there have been ballroom participants on Drag Race before, but they don't talk about that much on the show, and I think that, yeah, we need to give people the space to speak. You know, they have the platform. RuPaul can do a ballroom, you know, like edition episode and then, you know, educate the viewers about ballroom. Instead, he chooses not to. So you have to question and criticize and critique his method in that. No problem. Thank you so much, everyone.
One last thing.
Thank you so much for being here. We are the first Vogue house in Greece. So I talking a lot with you. Thank you so much for being here. We'll party at Be Queer, so we're all gonna be there. So
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
I can't wait.
Okay.
Clap.